So call to order.
Yeah, I think
Just call over for.
So, you know, if that were to, does it, even, we haven't made it.
right, I know, I don't even know.
I'd like to call this meeting, regular meeting of Saugatuck Township Board to order at 6:02 p.m. on Wednesday, June 11, 2025.
And Madam Clerk,
Yes.
no, I'd like to move in absence of our supervisor, Bigford, that we chair the meetings.
I'll support.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 4-0. So we'll do, a roll call, everyone, I don't know if everyone is here except for Richard. And we can do the pledge of allegiance, and they can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our next agenda item is reports. Presentations. Treasurer report.
There's no treasurer's report this month because the server is down. We can't access bank accounts, we can't access DNA, BSNA, any numbers. Or Peter, we can't start tax prep. It's almost halfway through June.
And we have to do payroll manual.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Lori's gonna be writing some checks back in
wow.
sometime next week, we think. The new server,
Yeah, we're hoping,
but then there's setting it up.
hopefully that part will go quickly, but it's the concern is, yeah, the ordering it and delivering it. So it was ordered with one company, but they've been slow to ship it, so we might go to a plan B, sub B, and order it from somewhere else and potentially just pick it up instead of waiting for it to be shipped.
I'll get a report when we meet it,
Okay.
but everything's good.
Yeah, okay, planning commission report, we did get a request from Big Blue Star Ben offices. So I don't know what the exact name of
The one that was denied last month.
Yeah, it was denied, they told them that it did not meet the zoning ordinance, we got a request for the planning commission to reconsider that. And the planning commission declined to do that, they said, no, your avenue of appeal is through the zoning board of appeals. So if they appeal, that will be the route that they will take. And that was the bulk of the meeting.
I'll try to top line items. So we're almost completed with the water main construction on Riverside Drive and Dugout Road and the road improvement project, so that's a big accomplishment. We have a walkthrough scheduled for tomorrow. See outstanding items that need to be complete, but that project's almost done. We did have to abandon the old water line today, so there were homes south of the pond that lost water for a period of time this morning and are now under a boil advisory and for about 24 hours, so, but that project's almost closed out. So that's exciting. The township had their kickoff meeting for our Safe Streets for All grant, so that was something that we were really looking forward to. So that's $140,000 federal grant to develop a comprehensive safe street action plan for all roads in the township. So we should get some great data points out of that. And information on, you know, what could be done to make our roads safer, but I think the more exciting thing that will come out of that is that we will be eligible for implementation or construction grants through this program. It's a prerequisite that you do have this Safe Street Action Plan in place. So then we can move ahead with some of the items that are top of mind for us, like Blue Star Highway. So we're happy that we finally got a grant agreement. We'll be, we had a kickoff meeting that we will be working through a grant agreement and then hopefully be able to initiate that project soon. The township hosted a presentation from the Machi Binashi Wish Band of the Potawatomi Indians in this very room last month. That was organized by the Friends of the Blue Star Trail. anytime that we receive federal funding for a construction project, we do need to consult the tribe, so that was a big step forward for us to have them take time to be here to go through their history in general and in the area specifically, and then start to build that relationship so that they better understand what our vision is, and that we better understand what their priorities are, and that we have stronger lines of communication. There's no set protocol for how we're supposed to communicate. And a lot of times we're not allowed to directly reach out to the tribes. It's gotta be a nation to nation communication, so federal government to tribal nation. However, it definitely helps when you're starting to build these relationships and there might be other avenues to communicate. So it was a little thing, it was a presentation. However, I think it was a big step forward for us, and it showed the tribes that we are listening to them and that we value them. And I think that they saw too that, that we're listening and we're valuing them. So that was a good meeting. So we held another progress meeting on River Bluff Park. That project's moving along very well. We're almost finished with the engineering. I think there's a little more to do with the Over the Marsh Boardwalk. An Eagle permit has been completed and submitted. And then we've, what exactly we do with the State and Center Preservation Office, we requested consultation. We have not heard from any of our grant applications, so we applied to NOAA for a grant. We also applied to the Coastal Management Program for a grant. My suspicion is things may not work out with NOAA. And I think that we'll find out very soon about the Coastal Management Grant. So if neither of those grants come through, that's gonna be a different conversation. But the project is moving forward, but the funding is still kind of a question mark. I did meet with the staff of the Land Conservancy of West Michigan. They were very active in our area, up until the retirement of their director, April Schultz. I think she was a force to be reckoned with, did a lot of great things for our area. Left a bit of a hole, but they've since regrouped and are much stronger now and have some key staff in place. So they are interested in knowing what we're doing in the land conservation space. We're very much interested to know what kind of technical expertise they can lend us or fundraising power. So those conversations are underway, and we're building a relationship, especially with our trust fund application to acquire a new park property, which goes into why I'm kind of tired tonight. I did present to the Michigan Natural Resource Trust Fund Board this morning at their quarterly meeting in Detroit. They only invited a handful of projects. I think there were only 8 applicants there. Some were acquisition projects, some were development projects. Ours clearly is an acquisition project. I think it went well. I got a lot of positive feedback from both the board and from DNR staff. So that application is in, it's just kind of waiting. We are doing an ecological evaluation on the property. That was something that DNR staff said that we could do that would be very beneficial to the grant application. So that is underway. They're actually starting tomorrow. And then when we get our initial score in September, we'll submit that report to the DNR, and then they'll be able to update our score based on that. But everything is moving forward with that. And yeah, we just have to wait until December-ish or mid-December to find out how we did. We got the funding to purchase the park.
Who's chair now of the trust fund board?
It's Dr. Brandy Brown.
I remember when it was Sam Cummings.
Yeah, they're a really thoughtful bunch and really impressive if you look at each of their profiles. And they take their positions very seriously. So it was actually really interesting to see, there were people making public comments. Some of the public comments surrounded the delay in receiving funds from the trust fund because it's tied with the approval of the state budget. So there are some individuals who are, I want to say always, but get a lot of trust fund funding or work with organizations that typically get funding from the trust fund. And there is a frustration because everything has gotta be timed, so if you don't know when you're gonna receive your funding, that would delay putting out a project for bid. Which could delay the project a whole nother year, because if you're not in the right construction cycle, your project's gonna be a lot more expensive than it would have been if you were, on time, so. They were really thoughtful in their responses, so I was very impressed with the trust fund board. And yeah, it was a privilege to, have Saugatuck Township there and be able to present our project in person.
And eight's a fairly low number.
Very small, and they had probably under 200 applicants, but probably right around there.
Oh, that's incredible.
I have a question, something that was in the parks report, I was wondering, could I ask?
Yeah, of course.
What's this concrete recycling at sand mine?
Yes, so. I might be able to fill in after, yeah, so, or do you wanna start with it?
Oh, is it coming up or something?
So it is, so.
Oh, I'm
it's-
sorry,
So it's a-
never mind,
no,
I
no,
thought
no.
it was just the consent agenda.
No, it's not in the agenda, but it probably will appear on the June 25th special meeting.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So it's, but just to kind of give you a heads up about what it is, there is an applicant who would like to do mineral excavation and concrete material recycling on a site in the industrial area that's across from the dog park, but it's adjacent to the landfill site. And that's an approved use, I mean, they still need to go through the planning commission process. However, what they're asking for is right now, the ordinance says that the setback for that kind of activity is 100 feet. However, if you can get approval from your neighbors for any property that you're touching, the setback could be reduced to 50 feet, and that's in the ordinance, it's not anything special. But they're asking us to consider the township and the city of Saugatuck, because the property touches the landfill site. If we would consider signing off and allowing and saying that we are okay with them reducing the setback from 100 feet to 50 feet. There's still some more information I have to get from the engineer before I present it, but I did ask the Parks Commission if they had any concerns. If there was a reduction in the setback from 100 feet to 50 feet from the landfill site, not from the dog park.
There was discussion at the planning commission about that, but no action was taken, other than to postpone it for more information from the applicant.
It just piqued my interest when I.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the actual concrete crushing will only take place 1 week a year.
Oh, okay.
Because they have to lease that equipment, they don't own it, and they want to keep that cost minimal.
Okay,
So it will be noisy for a few days, but the one neighbor did come out and indicated he was in support of the project.
oh, good, okay, thank you.
Good enough? Okay.
This is surprising.
That's all I know.
That's all you have?
Yep.
Okay. So we can move on to public comment. Is there anybody present that would like to make a public comment? Please state your name and address and keep your comments to the meeting.
Brett Lubbers, County Commissioner, live in Hamilton, 5683 133rd Avenue. You already know that probably, but anyway, quick update for you. We have a couple recycling events coming up, countywide recycling. It's up on the health department website. I just wanted to present it. This is coming Saturday, Bentonville City Hall. So this is a hazardous waste recycling, so that's electronics, paint, chemicals, batteries, scrap metal, everything except appliances and type.
What time?
8 AM to 1 PM, Bentonville City Hall.
Okay.
And all you need is your driver's license to show that you live in.
Great, thank you.
And then the next thing is tires. There are two tire collection events coming up. One is August 2nd at Saugatuck Township, which is also Saturday. And the second one is August 16th in Salem Township. So I believe there's a limit of like 8 or 10 tires per person. And also you can bring, I think, 4 agricultural tires, so if anybody has larger. It's a good way to get rid of them, so, and again, all you need is your ID to do that, so, anyway. That leads to the next thing, June, 2 weeks from today, or from tomorrow, I think. June 26th is the Senior Expo. Annual Senior Expo at the First Baptist Church in Allegan. 8 AM to 1 PM. So they have some food, some entertainment, you know, if entertainment goes, if you're into that. They have information on all the services that are available for seniors in the county that they can do, you know. All the things that they're available to sign up for, apply for. So it's just a nice event for people to mingle, so I'm told, you know, mingle and get, and just. If you have nothing to do that day, then.
What kind of music?
I don't know, that's an excellent question.
We're all.
I wondered the same
We're all.
thing.
Abby's young, but she's.
So, just a good event to show people what we can do, so.
Cool.
And then, I know you guys didn't handle any damage, but, just final numbers, I wasn't here last month, on May 15th, we had the storm, obviously, total damage reported. Around the whole county, $2.2 million. So that information got sent out to the state, and the state has declared an emergency for us, so we are meeting. The folks from the state July 1st, they're going to discuss the procedures and the SOPs for municipalities to. Attempt to be reimbursed or receive a grant, or what those avenues will look like from then on from the state, so, and it's kind of like the chicken or the egg, right, you know, it's. If you don't put the invoices out there and send it to them. You might get reimbursed, you might not, but if you don't send it to them, you won't get reimbursed at all, so. It's just one of those, but it's a good advantage that we have the opportunity for, so. And the last thing, we are. In the midst of beginning discussions of a countywide parks millage. So I don't know, you guys have parks millage on your ballot. And I'm sure it will be next year, because I'm like, it's too late for August, and it probably will be on November, so. But we're just trying to ascertain. The feeling between the local municipalities of. Would this be a hindrance to the things that you guys have on your ballots potentially, you know, to add one more to that? This would be 0.25 mils currently, so.
0.25?
That's high.
That's
Oh,
like,
is that, I thought you said 2 point.
no, point.
I was comparing it to ours, I'm like, whoa.
So. And we're still looking, that's a one option for funding, we have other options available, but. In the current fiscal uncertainty, let's say. Not to get too political, you know, I don't know if that's a good idea now or not, you know, we're starting trying to ascertain that, so. Just wonder if you guys had any input on that.
Well, I guess we were lucky, because was it 2 years ago now? You know.
Yeah, ours was approved in
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to Brandy about that.
Sure.
Off like my initial reaction, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, to see more investment in the parks, and then, you know, I feel like with our millage, we've gotten a lot more organized. And the city of Saugatuck now has their Parks and Public Works Committee, so I feel like it's that if the county's program had their dedicated funding source. There probably could be a lot more coordination with what we do.
Sure.
So that's just my initial reaction, but yeah, I'd like to talk to Brandy.
Yeah, because you can share some of the things we did, because typically new villages like that, they don't pass the first time off. And ours did 60%.
Yeah, over 60%.
We were kind of amazed, but now our Parks Commission has an annual budget of their own. It's not based on what we are able to give them, which was a fraction of what they're getting now. So
they're doing great things, so.
Oh, it's,
Yeah, they're really fun.
I completely agree, I think. The vast majority of people that use the parks enjoy using them. But I don't know if they enjoy them enough to,
Right. To pay
I-
for it.
to vote for a millage
Right.
countywide to do, so that's where the question lies. And they're already short, $100,000 a year on just an operating budget. And that doesn't even include any infrastructure improvements that need to be done or could be done in the future, so. As you know, those aren't cheap either. So, just things that we're looking at considering. What that could look like, so. Yep. Cool. Does you have any questions, that's all?
Brad?
I do wanna say thank you to Brad for the recycling, because before we could participate, because we don't
Right.
participate in the resource recovery program, but now the township residents can participate in the recycling event, so that's huge for us, so thank you.
And that's why they wanted it countywide,
Yeah,
so it's not, this township does this,
No, it
this
was-
city does this, and this,
It was confusing.
no, I completely agree, so. And it's a great way to clean up the
That's
our environment.
exactly, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Is there anyone else from the public that would like to make a comment at this time? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing section of the agenda. And move on to agenda approval. Everybody's had a chance to look at it. And I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the agenda.
I
Oh, I'm
was
sorry.
gonna request, can we move up the ZBA appointment?
Or should we just remove the planning commission appointment? Cause that's the first thing.
Oh, because these are all ending.
Yeah, they're all in A.
So it's coming soon.
Yeah, so
I
we
was
did-
just trying to get her.
yeah. But I would remove the planning commission.
Right. You
13.
should strike, right, 13.1.1.
1.1.
Sorry, that'll move to our November 20. June 25th special meeting.
Me, that takes us then.
Oh, do you have it? Did you get a second and a move?
Oh,
There you go.
I got a motion to approve by Aldrich.
Oh, I'll support it
Support by-
as amended.
Any further discussion? None, we'll do, voice vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And then we can move right on the consent agenda, and these are routine items, and will be enacted in one motion. No separate discussion of these items. If there is a discussion requested, it can be reviewed from the consent agenda and considered separately.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Any further discussion on the consent agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried 4-0. And move on to item number 13.2. All the other items on the agenda have no action items on them, so we'll get right to 13.2, and that is on board of rules.
I'm sorry, did the agenda, the packet this time I did new numbers.
Oh, I have
Oh,
paper.
right.
I have paper.
I found it, but I can't tell you what it is. Starts with Kathy.
Okay, we have 2 vacancies on the zoning board and bills for both three-year terms due to expire on June 30th. So, and we have 1 alternate vacancy for a 3-year term. ZBA members Catherine Dritzis and Eric Adams have both submitted applications for reappointment. Township also received an application for Rebecca Israels for the ZBA alternate position. So we have the applications in our packet. I have been on zoning board of appeals for my full employment by the township. And I think both applicants are very well qualified and show their support and willingness to consider applications fairly and completely. So I don't know if anybody is interested in making a motion.
I'd like to make just a comment.
Yeah.
Well, I said this to Daniel earlier, I'll say it to Mr. Harry, too. The format, the new application format is fabulous. Just takes us up and I also think what Mr. Spencer needs to do is great. Maybe two of the best applications I've ever seen. Because sometimes the applications have very little on them, or they don't even do them. So, thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'll tell Catherine when I see her. Well, thank you guys for your performance.
Well, all of us participated in it, so this is the hard work that you all did. But yeah, thank you.
You pulled it together.
Thank you.
Morgan really did a lot of.
Morgan did a lot.
Well, I would like that. She doesn't like to be acknowledged.
Not in public.
See?
And Becky didn't,
Well,
I mean,
the alternate's not up yet, so,
oh, okay.
No, I don't think.
but I was gonna say, I don't see any applications.
Okay.
So we don't have it, we don't have it.
So all the applications were in the server. So these were the ones that we could recover.
Oh, I see.
She submitted one, I promise.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, I thought I heard.
Yeah, I'd love to read it when.
No, that was somebody else.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that was something else.
So we will be discussing that. So
We can do that at the next meeting.
No, I think we do it all at the
we
same
can do
time.
it tonight.
Okay, well, let's do it.
She should be here.
Oh, we know Becky so well and her qualifications.
So I want to know why she couldn't have said it lost numbers.
Yes. I just wondered why we didn't have that.
We don't have a budget action, and we don't have motion review, and we don't have legal review, so
Oh.
we're ready for a motion if somebody's interested in. making a
Oh,
motion.
okay. Go ahead, you want I guess I'll move.
Oh, you wanna, oh yeah, I think that's what, do you wanna let Harry say anything? Do you wanna ask any Harry
Yeah.
questions or?
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't feel the need, but
I don't.
if you want to talk.
Put it in the letter.
Yeah.
Always come in.
Being so
Yeah.
thorough.
We're very aware of all the challenges you and the ZBA went through in the last year in particular.
Right.
You've done a lot more reading probably than any of us, in terms of number of words.
Yeah.
Including Zoom. Are you okay with moving it forward?
Oh, did you-
I mean, do you want to say anything?
No, I had nothing to say.
Yeah, you said-
Everything in my letter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll move to appoint Catherine Dristis and Harry Abrams to the zoning board of appeals and Rebecca Israels as alternate member to the zoning board of appeals for a 3-year term set to expire on June 30th, 2028.
I'll support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, motion carried 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Adams.
Deal 4029.
29.
Page 30.
I'm just glad that we were able to get this done. without this work. I was worried about that.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, this one got mixed up a little, the L 49 is actually before the memo.
Okay. Daniel, would you like to make a quick presentation on this, or would that be, John?
I mean, I can walk it through, and if John's got anything that he wants to fill in that I'm missing, and then it does, just to put it, before I forget, it does
Quite a public hearing.
public hearing, yeah, so opening up a public hearing. And it will be a roll call vote, but the L 4029 is essentially the form that we fill out and submit to the state to set our millage rates for the year. We did have a rollback this year, a Headley rollback, and so that's accommodated, so we are requesting the maximum allowance millage rate, which we've typically done, so essentially we're not changing the millage rate beyond the Headley rollback. This year, the millage rate for the general operating millage went down to 0.9933. And then I think that's the biggest one of interest, I think, but that's down from 1.07. So you can see there was a reduction. I think last year we're at 1.0117. Our taxes, or I should say, the revenue generated from taxes is going up because we have more new construction that we've added. But the millage rate itself is being reduced. And so we're requesting just simply the maximum allowable millage rates for both, or for all of our millages, which is the operating millages, the 2 road millages, the cemetery millage, and the parks millage. So this would be, a public hearing to get input from the public, but also to set those millage rates and then send that to the state, so they can, the county, sorry, send it to the county.
To the county.
Yeah, so then we can begin to.
No, but as you
finalize.
pointed out, we did raise a couple things last year. So I think it's okay that Headley lowered them again.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit. And I just want to share with everyone, we'll talk about this later in the year, but the second, the cemetery millage expires at the end of the year.
Okay.
So will that be on the November ballot?
So I think the strategy for that is to put it on the August ballot, and if for whatever reason it fails, we'll put it on the November ballot.
All right.
That's what Peter's recommending.
Okay.
It's never failed.
Lower turn.
Yeah, it's never failed before.
Yeah.
I think people are happy with supporting the maintenance of the cemeteries, but it will, appear first on the August ballot, and then if need be, it'll appear on the November ballot, with the understanding that if something went wrong in in November, we'd have to wait a whole year before we got that millage back.
Okay, so we'll open the public hearing at 6:35 p.m. Is there anyone in the public that would like to make a comment at this time?
Weigh in on this.
I support it.
You support it? Okay.
What's your address?
Okay, so hearing no public comment at this public hearing, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:36 p.m. And I'll entertain a motion. This is to submit the paperwork to the county.
I will move to authorize the completion and submission of the 2025 L-4029 form, requesting the maximum allowable millage rates to be levied for Saugatuck Township's allocated operating millage and all extra voted millages.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. This is a roll call vote because it is a public hearing, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alder?
Yeah.
Mercy?
Yes.
Helmrich?
Yes.
Osmond? Yes. Motion carries 4-0. We have the fiscal year 25-26 budget approval and a public hearing. So we did have, a workshop on the budget, which was quite extensive, and we went into a lot of detail and talked about a lot of things. So. And we are going to have another meeting on the 25th, correct? Because this is kind of lost in the server thing, we might have to make some corrections.
We won't have to make any corrections to the budget, but we will have to do a final budget amendment for the prior fiscal year, or for the close of this fiscal year. But
we can approve this tonight.
we can approve this tonight, and we do not have to have a separate truth and taxation hearing. This includes the millage rates that you all just approved in the L 4029. Which allows us to not hold that truth and taxation separate public hearing.
Perfect. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:38 p.m. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make any comments? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. We should wait at least a minute.
Yeah.
At 6:39. And because this is a public hearing, we'll do another roll call vote.
Yeah.
Did we get a motion? Yes, here it is. Oh, we don't have a motion yet.
Move to adopt the proposed FY 2025 to 2026 budget as presented and resolution number 2025-16. A resolution to establish general appropriations for Saugatuck Township.
I'll support.
Okay. So we'll do another roll call vote. Aldridge,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Osmond, yes, and Marcy.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
That's it for agenda items, and we're back to public comment.
I think that's true.
Mhm.
Public comment period, is there anyone? I hope we're not putting you on the spot too much.
Hey, he stays.
Okay, hearing none, we will close the public comment session at 6:40. And take board comments. Any volunteers to start?
I'll start. Oh, go ahead. I just wanted to tell you that the Wildlife Committee has decided to, they're taking their motion, or I don't know what they call it, what's that? Yeah, into their boards, and the township really is sort of just whatever the DNR recommends, so. We are disbanded for now, not disbanded, but we're done with the meetings, and we'll probably get together maybe before hunting season. Just to, go over it, and, there's a few little changes to Saugatuck and Douglas, I'm not exactly sure what, but are you Daniel, or?
No, the only thing that I can think of is that they are, well, each of them are doing something different.
Right.
My understanding is, and correct me, because you're in this.
Yeah.
But Douglas is doing a permitting process for hunting on private property.
Right.
And then the city of Saugatuck is doing some sort of a legal waiver. It's kind of like you can hunt on your own property if you sign this waiver, but if anything goes wrong, you're responsible. So, yeah, is
Yeah,
that right?
yes, I think so, and then, but we're just pretty much,
We're stuck with what the DNR
yeah,
has.
so we don't have to worry a whole lot about
Which
it,
is fine.
right?
Yeah, no, I think that actually we have the most flexibility in terms of hunting on private property. We did pass that resolution, so one thing that we could do, so we passed that resolution saying that we could consider hunting on park property. That maybe that should go to the planning commission to consider. I will say that, I mean, I think it is an option. And if you had a permitting process, that could work, but I think that would take some time to develop. I will say that hunting came up at the DNR meeting today. And the trust fund is not enthusiastic about allowing any kind of hunting on park property. So I think that's something to take into consideration, that they were concerned, you know, the question came up, would there be hunting on the proposed park property, and, you know, what are we gonna do to, you know, just like dissuade people from hunting illegally? So they were very happy to know that we don't allow hunting on public property right now, and that it's by ordinance. So that's just throwing it out in the mix.
No,
Yeah.
I have nothing. Mr.
I
Helmut?
have 2 minutes.
Okay.
No, I think it was 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. Trustee Marcy and I were able to attend the ribbon cutting at the old airport property in Saugatuck Township, in the city of Saugatuck. And it's christened Saugatuck Wild.
Yep.
Yep, and I think today was the official public opening. So if you've never walked this property, it's incredible. And do the whole thing, because it gets better and better as you go in. And I guess the trails are all marked, signage out. It's pretty exciting.
It tells you which way, yeah. I don't think I did,
Yeah, you didn't get.
I didn't get to the creek, so I mustn't have taken one of the offshoots.
I would just keep going straight, no veer.
Instead of following the
Follow
local.
Yeah, just keep going
The line of trees, and
Alright.
after that, I always say, I feel like I'm in Wyoming. I mean, it's that dramatic.
Wow, my dog loved it.
So it's not on the dog park side, it's across the street, okay, and there's a.
There's a gate.
It's a- and it's got a sign?
Directly
Sidewalk on the road.
No, we'll get through the signs, they requested. The manager reached out to know what the requirements are for signage. Initially, they wanted to know if they could put the sign in the right of way, but neither the road commission or the township allow signs in the right of way, so I think they might have to do a little clearing at the entrance. But I let them know that they probably could use the size regulations for a commercial industrial sign as opposed to a residential sign, because agricultural too is both residential and commercial, and this is more of a parks commercial use than it would be residential.
We did get one comment from a resident who was questioning about whether or not that gate would be closed at
No, they're gonna
night.
leave it open.
They're gonna leave it open.
That's what I think. The DPW guy.
Scott?
Because he asked me about, do we have any parks that we
Well, the
close?
person that was questioning it was concerned, was afraid that there would be nighttime parties, fire pits, things that might not be quite as appropriate as a trail park. But if that comes up, then we'll just have to
Talk
talk
to
to
Ron.
the.
Yeah, we get your reports like that.
But I still think at this point, most people don't know where it is,
Yeah.
what it is.
It was on news.
It is fantastic.
Was it on the news?
It was on channel.
They've got a lot of things. And the ribbon cutting was at least 60 or more people.
Yeah,
Very
it was very,
And it was really nice, because after the cutting and all the city council people spoke, John Vanderbeek, our friend who lives in the township, big part of that, when he made his comments, he thanked specifically Saugatuck Township. Which I thought was nice.
Cool.
And the second thing is last Wednesday evening, I went to the workshop of the Lake Township Board. Abby was gonna go with me, but that was the day with all the Cal people, so I went anyway. I just wanted, as Steve Ringelberg, their new supervisor, was coming to us a few times. I've never met him. I only knew one of them, and their legal counsel I knew very well, because it's Ron Boltry, but I haven't seen him in person for a long time.
yeah.
So I just wanted to say, we're here, we're your neighbors, we're looking for more cooperation. I did highlight, just make sure they knew about the recent passage of the Lakeshore Overlay District. That's something. And what was my Oh, I guess what we went through was a 3-year zoning ordinance. They've had some zoning issues.
That's probably good comments for them, because yeah, the new board seems to be particularly interested in zoning.
Oh, yeah, because they've already had that one, they stood up. I think the one they turned down, I guess it was, the Aldine Shipyard was behind it, so.
Mm,
And that was quite a challenge for what they. And I had shared our financial investment policy with Steve, because he wasn't even sure they had one. I think they're kind of like we were back in 2018. They don't have money, if any. And their treasurer, Jim, I think Jim's last name, so we had a little exchange. That's all, I just found out. And they said that we have provided a lot of cooperation to them. They're all new. Daniel worked a lot with Steve in the early days of budget. Because he's also the acting manager. They don't have the staff manager. So, and Peter, and me, we've all. And we didn't.
and Lori,
Right.
yeah, we've helped out where we can,
I know.
there are neighbors who want them to do well, so.
But it was cool because we didn't quite have that relationship in the past.
No.
With the board and even the manager, you knew him, I've seen met him a couple times, and he kind of ran the whole shop, so.
Yeah.
It's nice to have them, and they're right there, so, and they're a township, so we have more in common issues than we do in the two cities. That's all.
I guess I just would mention to them during my turn, but we did get a letter from some property owners that were concerned about the location of the consumer quality light post. And I think what we determined was that the beef of the property owner is not with the township, it's with consumers. And they should
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with consumers.
I knew that.
That's our problem.
Have you talked with them or?
No, they did come in, we talked with Leon, they submitted this letter, I did talk to Jim Geltema, cause he requested the light.
Right.
I think he was surprised about where they placed it, I went out there and I took
Oh.
pictures, you know, I'm not an expert in light placement, so I really can't say. We did get a detailed schematic from consumers, so I do think that, yeah, I can share my contact to consumers. And that's probably the best option, that they can talk to consumers about if it's a possibility to move the light or the justification for putting there, but it was not our decision on like the placement of the light, the design.
No, we didn't visit. But if it's not where the plan that we all voted on,
It is though.
it is.
It is,
Okay.
so it is in the right of way, it's directly across from the drive, I mean, you can see it's installed.
I haven't seen it at night with up yet, because it doesn't get dark for a while. What's that?
What?
I can't stay up that late. It's so dark.
We'll wait until October.
Yeah.
I know, different person, I'll tell you.
But you can see it's installed, it's about 4 feet off the property line, it's a very wooded section of the property, it's in the right of ways directly across from the drive. That's really just objectively, that's my observations,
And it's that corner empty.
it's the corner empty lot,
They own, they live
yeah.
not too far away. Dr. Ayano was my neurologist or something. So he's not doing that.
But I will reach out to them and I will show the contact
Yeah.
of consumers.
Because that's who did it.
I think that's a good option.
Right, it's annoying when there's a light shining in your bedroom or whatever.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near us.
All of a sudden, huh?
It's not near any house.
Oh, okay.
It's a vacant.
It is annoying, though.
They own the property.
Just saying.
I'll go for a little walk later. I'm curious myself just to see.
I just.
Well, maybe we'll have
Right?
a late night something. Good.
Is it flash?
In the fall, we go away,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the exact same light as at the roundabout, if it helps you pick it up. But it's just 1 instead of 4, or there's 6 maybe at the roundabout.
I can't remember.
It's an LED, it's not it's facing down,
Yes.
so it's not like the bulb where it's going all in different directions, so it's a little more direct light. But, yeah, but I think the concern was not with the light, it's the placement of the light. But we can, yeah, I can share my contact with Saugatuck.
That'd be great. We didn't do it.
It wasn't.
We approved the idea.
Okay, is there anything else that anybody would like to talk about before we adjourn? Okay, we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:52 p.m.